Hello, Keith.
How you doing, Tough?
I'm really good, man. I'm program director, morning show host, KX 94.7 in Hamilton. You were here a couple of years ago for the
Yeah,
CCMAs.
sure.
Um, and of course, my colleague there, Jerry.
Yeah, down there in Sydney.
That's where I
Amazing.
am.
Well, look at man. First off, thanks for doing this. Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. It's
Yeah,
our
you bet.
KX Country Clubhouse. You can see the lovely wood background that we have here.
Yeah,
But look at congrats on the new record, man. It's so good. The Speed of Now Part 1. I love the title, first and foremost. It's so
thank you.
fitting for the
Thank
times we're going through. And I know you actually came up with the title before this whole pandemic started, which I thought was interesting. I did,
Yeah, it's kind of spooky.
yeah, I did want to get right to the collaborations on the record, Keith. You and Pink, you guys sound so good together. One too many.
Thank you. Thank you.
Honestly, it's an amazing track. It's one of those ones where you first listen to it and you go, oh my God, that is so good. We're going to start spinning it next week on both country radio stations here in Canada. So we're excited for that.
Champion. Thank you, Tough.
How does the collaboration between you and Pink, how does that happen? Can you explain to our listeners?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd love to for a long time. She's just such a great artist, great singer. I mean, a great singer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Among the greats, period. But she's a great storyteller. That's really what she is. When she sings, you feel it. You feel what she's singing, no matter what it is. And this song was written as a duet, and she was it. I thought, gosh, this might be the song finally. And I sent it to her, and it was immediate. Yeah, she loved it, and got her vocals on it. I just wish we could have done it in the studio at the same time, but we had to do it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something we can get to a little bit later on, the pandemic, how it's changed everything. But the one thing I did notice, Keith, the Speed of Now Part 1, 16 tracks. The trend in music, as we all know, is to go a smaller version sample of songs, EPs, things like that. Was this a conscious effort? Did you have that many songs that you needed to get out there? Or did it just kind of evolve as this project unfolded?
A bit of both, actually, Jerry. I like making albums. I love making a journey of songs and then going out on tour. And I've got one part of it happening, at least anyway. But to the second part of your comment was right too. I also recorded a lot of songs, and certainly over 30 songs I recorded, and had to narrow it down to the ones that made this record. And there was really a lot of songs, great songs, that didn't make the album. So I decided on a part 1 and part 2.
Very cool. Keith, I want to mention, I know you're a studio guy. How involved were you in the production on this new record?
Oh, every second of every song. But I always am. I always have been, right from day one. I mean, first and foremost, because it's what I love. I love being in the studio. I love recording. I love creating. I can spend weeks, months in there easily. And thank goodness, because it's become my stage since the touring quit. I think it was amazing I finished the album at all, because I think I was dragging my feet in the studio because I knew there was no tour. So I'm like, I'll just stay in the studio infinitely, But yeah, I had to finish the record. But yeah, I love it. The importance of producing for me is just maintaining my sound, maintaining who I am. And when I go and work with lots of different people, I've got to be the through line that connects everything.
You think moving forward, Keith, the pandemic has changed the way, obviously, we're doing things now. Has it changed the music industry? And if so, in which way? And will this be a permanent thing now, the way people do music?
There's no doubt it's changed pretty much everything. The way in which we live and so forth, the way in which we communicate. Hopefully it's bringing the ability to balance home and life, home and work a little better. It's challenging because on one hand, the work has come home, now we work from home, and you go, that's great, we'll see my family more. And you go, well, actually now I work at home. So trying to make those boundaries is the new challenge. But I think a lot of the ways that we're sort of having to make do right now will become part of the norm as we move forward. Certainly, I think doing a lot of Zoom things, a lot of virtual performances, a lot of virtual interviews and various things. I think a lot of that will stay in the new world, and will sort of supplement the way we used to do it with the way we do it now. That's my hunch.
Well, Keith, the Canadian Country Music Awards are this weekend here in Canada.
Yeah.
They were actually supposed to be held here in Hamilton again this year, but because of the pandemic, that all changed. Just wanted to ask, any Canadian artists that catch your attention? I know you've performed on stage with Lindsay Elba before in that guitar shred off. That was so cool.
Thank you. Well, I mean, huge shout out to Tennille Towns. I mean, she's the real deal. I mean, she can play, she can sing, and she can write songs like nobody. She's unbelievable. I don't know what's going on in Canada, but your freaking talent per capita situation is off the hook. It and always has been. Ever since I was a kid, it's nonstop. I mean, from Gordon Lightfoot to it goes on and on. It's just an amazing country with so many talented people, and Tennille is right in there. She's extraordinary.
Well, I can follow up on that one. Actually, great question, Bill. You've got 23 #1 singles in Canada. I don't know if you keep track of those kind of things, but Canada has embraced you as well. You were just giving us kudos for that, but it's your talent as well. The world really has embraced you. Does that change your approach to picking songs, Adele, knowing that, everyone around the world is waiting for the next thing from Keith Urban, knowing that you're going to be performing that everywhere?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I can't, I think there's no way you can't please everybody, right? So I play a very diverse style of music. I can't even really categorize it anymore, other than it's just my music. It's just me. And trying to sort of cover a lot of that range in one album is very difficult for me and challenging to try and keep it cohesive, diverse and cohesive. So in the end, I just have to go with songs that really I love and represent who I am right now. Because for me, an album is just a photograph. My job is to capture the most clear, accurate, honest photograph of who I am right now, and maybe who I want to be as well. And if I do that, then I've done my job. And definitely this album is a very accurate snapshot of who I am right now.
Very cool. Keith, you kind of started the drive-in craze, the drive-in shows in the States. I know Brett Kissel got things rolling on this side of the border. He just did a show in Toronto last weekend. What's your take on outdoor shows and kind of maybe where we're headed as we navigate through this pandemic together? I've seen in Europe that some of the outdoor shows are using kind of pods where people can sit and stuff. What's your kind of
yeah, I saw those.
Yeah,
it's I love that we're trying to make it work, though. Go humans. I mean, we're like, a pandemic hits and we're like, we have to figure out how to play hockey. I mean, we just have to, guys. We just, I love that. Because it's part of who we are, and playing music and going to concerts, that sort of thing. We want to figure it out. The drive-in concept is one way to do it. At the end of the day, I'm always going to miss a mosh pit. I'm always going to miss people down the front.
sure.
I believe we're going to see that again. Not soon, but we will definitely see that again. And in the meantime, we're just coming up with the best way to be able to play to real people instead of a bunch of computer screens. And I love that everyone's being innovative, because this is the most innovative time, and we have to be innovative right now. We either innovate or we just we starve and we go backwards. So moving forward. I was talking to some friends today, and really, it's really an extraordinary time when you think about the amount of humans on the planet that are just out on the front line trying to make their way forward to figure out, well, how do we do this? How do we do that? And that's amazing, because not everybody's doing that. Some people haven't left the farm, you know what I mean? Metaphorically, some people are like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. But there's people out there figuring it out. And like Brad, these are out there figuring it out, how to do a concert. And I love that kind of human spirit of pioneering. It's really good to see.
You know, Keith, you're part of that because you just hosted the ACM Award show. You're getting ready for the CMAs, your nominations. How hard was that? Is it harder to do it in front of an empty audience because you tell a joke or do a bit, no one responds? Or would you rather do it in front of a live crowd because you do that all the time when you're performing?
I'd much rather do it in front of a live crowd. I mean, as far as playing, you know, like we've done some Zoom performances, virtual performances, and you're playing to a computer screen or whatever. And I can't, you know, I can't see anybody a lot of the time. And you play a song and you finish and there's just silence. And I thought, oh, I've got years of experience playing in the clubs, having the exact same result. So, you know, it's finally come in handy, all those club shows of no reaction.
I'm back to the album here, Keith. The Speed of Now Part 1. I'm looking at the track list, and again, the song with Pink is incredible. We're excited to start spinning it next week. But as I look down the list, I see Eric Church, and the Chief is just an incredible individual, incredible artist. How did you know that you wanted Eric Church on your album and on this song We Were?
Yeah, well, Eric was a writer on that song, and after I cut it, we're very good friends, and we talk on the, you know, text each other all the time and hipping each other to music and artists and stuff we've never heard of. It's great. I hear a lot of new music because of him, and I said to him, listen, if you're ever in town with the day off, come by the studio and let's do a version with you singing it as well, you know, because I'd like to hear. Really, I think I just wanted to hear him sing it. That's really it. I just like, when I heard he was a writer, I'm like, oh man, because he didn't sing the demo, and that's why I didn't know he had written the song until after the fact. But once I knew that, I went, man, I'd love to hear him sing this song. So it was just me being a fan, figuring out a way that I could hear Eric Church sing that song.
That's bizarre. That's really cool to hear your version, your side of things.
We have to let you go, Keith. I know your time is tight, and we thank you so much. I'd love to stay here all day and talk. I really would, but
yeah, me too, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you so much. As always, every time we've met and talked, it's always been you've always been very gracious. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Same.
Nice to talk to you too, Toff.
Thank you,
yeah,
man. So cool meeting you.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.